Hey Beauts, it's Lisshaaleah Beauty and we're back in full effect with a brow tutorial. Let's get it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please go check out the playlist on my channel because I will organize and categorize everything or anything you want to see more of. And for my returning viewers, welcome back. Of course, I appreciate returning. Subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. Hit that bell button so you get notifications of when I upload new videos for you to see. Now, let's get to this. Okay guys, so I like to start with a fresh face. No foundation, no eyeshadow, no makeup. You could do your hair if you want, you know. Because I find that with thicker brows, more full brows, or even longer brows, you put on all that makeup on top of it and then try to fill them in. It gets really cakey when you already have the base there. You already have brows there, the base. So just work around it and leave that area. Use the foundation to clean up your brows, if anything. For me, also an issue is the ends of my brows. Front eyebrows, very thick, very perfect. They grow out. The ends of the brow get so curly that I could just go like this and they'd all curl out. But if I was to brush them out, they're there. They're long. It's just really curly. So I'm going to teach you tips and tricks of how to work that out and just to overall start filling in your eyebrows and make it easier for you. So let's start with the products you'll need. Okay, so products we're going to use for our brows today. I fell in love NYX Tame and Frame Tinted Brown Pomade. This is a really good product. I love it. It makes it really easy to sculpt my brows rather than such a definite line. I really enjoy this product. Eyebrow brush and angle eyebrow brush, I guess you could say. They're both brushes. This is actually a nose shadow brush, but I like it because it's angled already and it gives me more control when I want to clean the concealer around my finished eyebrows. And of course, concealer, NARS concealer, love it. Your eyebrows can be growing out and it will hide those hairs, so highly recommended. So this is our crew right here. Now let's get started. I like to start off by just rubbing some gold Shea body butter all over my face. It makes it really smooth and really easy for the brown pomade, tinted brown pomade to just glide over the hairs of my eyebrows. I'll mention in another video more about this. I'll put it in the little screen up below, up above, of a review I did on this product and all about it and where you can find it. So just like skincare is the best care before makeup. I don't know how I can stress that enough to y'all. We're going to use this to brush up the brows towards your hairline, literally all the way up. Don't try to do a design. Follow where your brows are going and brush them all the way up just so we can clearly define what you have there already. Okay? And it will also brush up any loose hairs that you have so you can get a cleaner marking ground, you should say. I like to take it and then try to trace what I want to see. See the difference? Just try to trace what you want to see when you're marking it with the pomade or whatever you use for your brows. Okay, so now that we have that base, you don't need to do the bottom because mostly I'm pretty sure your growth is going to be mostly on your bottom. But once again, to the other side, maybe you could see it better on this side. And then I just want to line what I want to see. Okay, so we already have a base for how we're going to draw it, where we want to go. Okay, if you want to touch up, I like to touch up my front of my brows to give it that really natural look. I don't want it to follow too much of a line like how I want the end of my brows to follow. Now we're going to pop in with our brow pomade and our angled brush. So now I'm just going to dip my angled brush into the brown pomade, and I like to kind of thin it out. Make sure it's like the thinnest. Even if you do this before you dip it in, it gives you cleaner lines. So now we're gonna get real close. Maybe I'll do this side. And I'm gonna start, not at the beginning, but a little bit off in the beginning, and glide a line of where I made that line. Boom, we already have our start. Now the reason I say don't go too far, because you want this to be natural. So with this side, you can go up strokes to give it that natural look. At the front. Now we can work on the bottom. So once again, new dip. I want fresh blood. And then you're just gonna take it. And once again, I like to start close because the bottom is the most defined. Start close and almost make an angle up towards the arch. So make an angle up towards the arch. That way you know, okay, the front's done. The front is already shaped out, and we can begin by brushing upwards, creating hairlines for your brows. Fill it in, do whatever you need. I can kind of crunch fill it in because I have full brows, but if you do have thinner brows, I suggest you do more realistic strokes with the brush. Now before this last dip to do the end of your brow, I like to once again flatten it out, dip it in, and like a few 1, 2, 3 is okay. Just make sure it's good enough on your brush here. And then from where I went angledwards, I'm gonna come and almost do another angle to match up this at the end, if you could see that. So you can almost see the crisscross here to here. Now, when you wanna clean it up, now you can gently take your brush and kind of make an arch. So gently. And then fill in your shape. You can clean it up how you want. Maybe you put 1, 2 down here. That's okay, it goes to the top. Create a better angle. So now as you see, both brows are filled in. Now they look choppy, they look bushy. So let's clean them up a little bit. I like to almost a little bit overfill. Like, I'm not too much of a junkie when it comes to getting it right before concealer, because that's what concealer is. It's meant to clean it up, sharpen it up, and it's better to do more and clean it up than to do less and have to put more on after. So we're going to clean it up with, of course, NARS, and this color is medium dark chestnut. I do use on my under eye medium dark walnut. So literally these are our, like, this one's 2.6, this one 2.5. They're literally 1 point off from each other. I like a lighter look for my lid, so when I put my shadow on, and it hides the hair, little hairs better. This one is better for my under eye. Right before I like to put on concealer, I like to brush it out one more time, just in case there's any clunks. But this time we're gonna be lighter, because we want to follow what we already done, and we don't want to spread any of the brow pomade anywhere else that it didn't need to be, or smudge it any more than it needs to be. Okay, and then now we're gonna go in with the NARS Radiant Cream Concealer 2.5, and I'm just going to, once again, not starting at the beginning, but a little bit after the beginning, just follow that line, trust in it. Follow that line, trust in it, clean it up. Again, with the bottom, I like to go up, 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 so I can see what I'm doing. All the way at the end, so lightly, because the bottom is so gentle. It's easy just to go, and ruin it. Right at the, I should say the arch, I see people have the hardest time, so just take your time. And this is why I like using these if you have a hard time at the arch, because then you can just take your time make a messy line, right? Then make your way in. Clean it up more. Clean it up more. And keep on going in until you get that nice shape you're looking for. Okay? You can always go back and say, it's looking a little, let me just even it up a little bit with already the remaining concealer already on the brush. Notice how I haven't dipped again. Okay, as you can see, and I'm gonna do the other brow and show you how that looks. Okay, both sides are done. I don't really have a preference for anybody that wants to do their concealer anyway. I like doing it this way. It gives me what I need. You're welcome to do, you know, the full look. If you want to do the middle, I find less is more. If you don't need it, don't waste your time doing more and putting on more makeup. So now we're gonna use our nose brush, angled, to go outwards and brush out the concealer. Now once you see it kind of like this, you can do a nice clean sweep. It's very close to the brow. Nice clean sweep. And that will give it that clean look compared to, well, can't really compare, but as you see, it's giving it that clean look. Same for the bottom now. Downward. And I like to just do like right at the end. I don't like to do so close at first. Get rid of the extra stuff first. And then save close up for the clean sweep. Okay. And then you got that clean line. At this point, your brows will look a little bit like this. Your face will look a little bit like this. What I like to do is I like to compare both brows. Just look at it real quick. Brush them out. Once again, mostly the front, just in case it got squished down. I like that natural look at the beginning of my brows, not too thickly drawn in. Just make sure they match. Make sure the bottoms match. If you have to, you can clean it up like this. Looks pretty good to me. So now we're just gonna clean it up with this. So now I'll be able to put on my foundation and cover up anything like any leftover concealer. Maybe if you made a mistake with the concealer and you want to not use more concealer, use this time to clean it up with your foundation. Your foundation is just as thick and just as full coverage or medium coverage that you would need. So the foundation I do use is MAC. If you want to know what type and how I use it, I will put a video up above where I do a full face of makeup. Okay, so let's get down for this final look. And that wraps up our final brow tutorial, final look. Everything's done. We can do some close-ups here. So as you see, brows are sharp enough to kill, and that is what you want. If I went too fast, if you missed out on anything or you want to go back on anything that I talked about in the video, click my description below. You'll find all the information that you need right there. And so you don't miss out, hit that bell button, hit subscribe so you can share with me all the good tips and tricks for makeup that I have to offer for you. Well, it's been a ball. Thank you for stopping by. Lisshaaleah Beauty, out.